Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and we are here today on a gloriously rainy day. I like the sunshine when I know I'm going to be outside, but when I'm about to sit down and record a live commentary on a Monday like today, and it starts pouring, it just makes me kind of feel kind of good and warm inside, all gooey, you know? There's just something about certain weather conditions when you're sitting down to play some video games. So today we're revisiting the Flatline. Now, the Flatline has been sort of an infinite conundrum for me. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, every time I do a revisit for this gun, I really don't know what to think of it. I think regardless of how much respawn buffs or nerfs this gun, I always kind of feel the same way about it. It's a weird gun. Unlike the Alternator, which also has horizontal recoil, that sort of side-to-side recoil pattern instead of the vertical muzzle climb, this thing's just strange. I don't know what it is, but the Alternator at least feels consistent and controllable, and I can tap fire it and I can hip fire it at long ranges, whereas the Flatline is just such an odd beast to tame. And even when you tame it, every now and then it just kind of, it's like Charizard, alright? That's the best comparison I can make. The Flatline is essentially Charizard. Charizard helped Ash out a lot in the Pokemon series, in the original Indigo League series, if I'm correct. I'm probably wrong on that, but he was also a massive dick, and occasionally he would just refuse to help Ash and burn him alive when he needed him most, and then Ash would have to rely on Pikachu. Pikachu is basically the equivalent of the Alternator here, and the Flatline is very much Charizard. It's just, it doesn't want to be tamed, man, no matter how much you try, no matter how much time you spent saving the damn thing's life when it almost died as a very young boy. Or very young Charizard, whatever it is. Thing just doesn't care, dude. It's just like every now and then it's like, hey, guess what? Watch this recoil pattern, bro. You weren't expecting that, were ya? I'm totally gonna screw you on this one. That's the Flatline, right? So it means that hip firing this weapon, regardless of the platform you play on, outside of extreme close quarters, is damn near impossible to do, at least consistently. Maybe I just need to spend more time with the weapon, but everybody I've talked to on streams and other people I know in the community, you know, just other viewers, other players of the game, other pilots out there, agree that the Flatline's hipfire is just incredibly inconsistent, and it seems to be even more so when you play with the controller. So people tend to ADS with it. Now, on stream today, I tried really hard to go ahead and just commit to hipfiring with it, and you know what? It's just I think there's a specific range in which you can get away with it. But there were plenty of instances where I just kept getting shut down, and that's probably the biggest issue, is I do actually feel, for the very first time, that medium range damage debuff they gave to this weapon actually had a bit of an effect on it, and I found myself getting beat out by a lot of other weapons just because the time to kill with this gun had become so much lower than it once was. I was really hoping we could get some sort of a telefrag there that would have made me as giddy as a schoolboy, but unfortunately, alas, it was not to be. You know, it's an interesting gun. I like it, I really do, and I think it's a fun gun to shoot. I think its recoil pattern actually makes it one of the more interesting weapons in the game, much like the Alternator. Is this guy alive or dead? I can't tell what's going on in here anymore with this guy over there. Now we're getting kicked in the back of the head. We hung around for way too long, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't know there's much else more I can say about it. I definitely want to play with it on PC and kind of come up with some impressions there. Honestly, I've spent almost no time with this gun on PC with a mouse and keyboard, so I'm curious to see if it handles, you know, a little bit differently. Stand still, Scorch. I want to save your life, buddy. And then I want to climb inside of you and wreak havoc, so let's do that together. But right now on controller, it's all over the place for me. It really is dependent on the enemy's performance and how quick they are to kill you, how efficient they are. One of the most frustrating things I've noticed about it, so in some situations, I like to slide. Sliding for me is just kind of a way to, you know, stay mobile, to lower my profile, especially when I'm pushing down a tight corridor. And you guys will see me slide a lot with the Kraber, I'll slide a lot with the Alternator, I'll slide with a lot of guns. I mean, I like sliding into kills. I think it's effective. I think it makes you a harder target to hit, and for me, it actually allows me to put the Kraber's scope over bore in a way that allows me to land shots a little bit more efficiently. So I just kind of do it out of habit with every other gun. The problem is, when I slide, I'll usually slide, I'll hip fire, and then I'll sometimes go into an ADS with something like the R97 or the Alternator even, if I feel like I need to clean up. Mostly with the rifles and with the R97 I'll do that, not too much with the Alt. if you ADS while this weapon is in the middle of one of its odd jumpy recoils, like jumping to the left or the right, your ADS will actually be like out of line of sight for a moment. You'll have to compensate for it. No other weapon in the game does that. I think in a lot of ways the I keep wanting to say the alternator. The Flatline is the only rifle in the game that genuinely has its recoil, at least psychologically, greatly affected by ADSing. You know, in terms of recoil management. It's the weirdest thing ever. And that's all I can say about it. So you know what else we need to talk about? Spicy Boys, ladies and gentlemen. We should actually have some Spicy Boys available once we lose our Titan here. I've been having fun with the Spicy Boys. Using them a bunch on stream. Getting some pretty absurd kills with them. I've yet to get any Titan kills with them, which is sort of the holy grail right now for me in terms of killing things with the Spicy Boys. But I've gotten quite a few double kills that were really satisfying, and we didn't get our core off there like I had hoped we could. There's that hipfire. There's that hipfire I was talking about. There we go. Swing around, get him. It's like when the shots hit. This gun's making me unable to talk today, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta get back to my live commentary skills. This was a little bit sloppy. I apologize. Hopefully the conversation was at least good. What I was saying was when the shots land, it feels good, but when they don't, it feels awful. Isn't that kind of how it goes with every weapon? So the Spicy Boys, as I was saying, I had a theory, right? And my initial theory was, if you basically threaten the Spicy Boys in front of at least 20 to 30 people on a live stream, they tend to do really well. In fact, both times I've threatened them on stream and thrown them out, I've gotten double kills. So like a kill with each Spicy Boy, you know? You threaten them with the livelihood of their family. You tell them that you're going to find the little Spicy Boy children, and you're going to detonate them. You're going to stomp on them with your Titan before they've even grown into their detonation cores. I mean, that's a serious threat if you're a Spicy Boy. If you're a member of the Tick family, you know, you want your Spicy Boys to grow up to be healthy little Spicy Boys. You want them to have nice big detonation cores, and you want them to end up killing something someday, right? You want them to be as great at killing things as you were. So that's a serious threat. The problem is, long term, I think that's caused some emotional stress to the Spicy Boys. And I think they may have been striking on me for a while, actually. They didn't seem too happy about the situation. They were getting almost no kills. And so recently I've tried to adopt a more modern way of running a business and treating your employees with respect. I've given them paid vacation. In fact, a whole squad of my Spicy Boys are currently in the Bahamas, much like Iniquity was several months ago. Hanging out, enjoying the sun, getting some chicks. Who knew that human females liked exploding mechanical robots that were bright red? But it turns out they totally do. And I'm hoping that when they come back, they'll be more ready than ever to take on the role of the Spicy Boy and really rack up some doubles and triple kills for me. And at that point, I even told them, as part of their contract, if they end up getting 2 kills per Spicy Boy, I'll actually put them in a montage. So we'll have to see if that happens. I'm really hoping it doesn't, because the whole idea of a Spicy Boy tick montage is not really the most appealing thing in the world to me. Probably not going to be easy to edit, and probably going to be difficult as a whole. But we'll see how it goes. Nonetheless, I have found that their performance has massively increased, so I may suggest to you that you treat your Spicy Boys with as much respect as I have. Interestingly enough, Moipera is actually working on the next episode of Titan Toons, and it seems that the Spicy Boys will in fact be getting some sort of revenge against their pilot overlords. So perhaps they should have listened to me and treated their Spicy Boys with a bit more respect, and maybe that episode would have never had to come to fruition. I'm going to go ahead and pop down Scorch as soon as we get killed by this guy with the R97, because we weren't paying attention. Fortunately, that was a pretty solid match, 17, 1, and 13. I've gotten pretty good at just obliviously blasting my way to the top of the leaderboard when I do these live commentaries. My speech sometimes suffers because of it, but I think all in all, that was a pretty successful live commentary. I was actually worried that I was going to forget to tell the, you know, to basically provide you guys with this really important information about the Spicy Boys. They're still a little bit pissed at me, as you can tell. Unfortunately, the 2 Spicy Boys that I have in my squad today, they didn't get put on vacation. They're currently in rotation. They're not too happy about that yet, but I promised them a week's worth of paid vacation once the other 4 Spicy Boys get back, so hopefully things will go well from there. Let's go ahead and see what's going on over here. This is the end of the match, obviously. I don't know if we can maybe build a core and just kind of drop something quick here. That would be fantastic. I gotta start working. As J Kit reminded me today on stream, I gotta start working on my reload cancels. Detonate that tone. We can watch that tone die at least, ladies and gentlemen, right at the end of the match. Iniquity would be proud. The Spicy Boys would be proud. They're cheering for me right now. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I like telling corny little stories like that. It's just something I've always enjoyed doing, and it's one of the #1 things that happens if you sub to me on Twitch, is you get a story told on the spot, right then and there, completely ad-libbed, about your gamer tag or whatever your Twitch username is. So if you're interested in that and you haven't used your Twitch Prime sub for this month, you can still do that. You can head over to my Twitch, drop a sweet sub there, and check out that beautiful Stoic Sea. We're going to have to make a new color combination for good old Scorchy Boy here with the Stoic Sea and see if we can get something mixing and matching. I've been really into coordinating my color combinations across my Paladin and my Titan. So we're actually running Tan Hex with Warship Worm, and we're doing the same thing with Scorch here. So we got Tan Hex, and we were running Warship Worm on the Thermite launcher there. Nice bit of mix and match. Anywho, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about the current state of the Flatline. If you're an avid Flatline user on either platform, please let me know what platform you're playing on. If you're playing on the console side of things, and if you're playing on the PC side of things, how has the Flatline changed for you over, I guess you could say, since the game launched, right? There's a lot that's gone down since launch. I'd love to hear how the weapon performs with you, the things you love and hated about it, if you feel like the most recent nerf to its medium range damage actually did anything, or if it went pretty much unnoticed by you. Let me know down in the comment section below, and be sure to treat your Spicy Boys with the utmost respect. I'm telling you, if you want to run a business with these guys, you got to give them the respect they deserve, and they'll outperform for you each and every time you head out into the battlefield. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, remember to play smart, remember to play to challenge yourself, but most importantly, remember to play for fun.